Welcome to our exploration of AI regulation, deepfakes, and their impact on elections and media literacy. We're living through a technological revolution that's transforming how information is created and shared. As the saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility, and artificial intelligence represents one of the most powerful technologies humanity has ever developed. In this session, we'll examine how AI-generated deepfakes are reshaping political discourse globally, the risks they pose to democratic processes, and how governments worldwide are racing to regulate this technology. We'll look at real-world examples, understand the technology behind deepfakes, explore different regulatory approaches, and discuss what you can do to navigate this new information landscape. Get ready for a fascinating journey into one of the most critical issues of our time. Let's begin by understanding what deepfakes actually are. The term, deepfake, combines deep learning, a type of artificial intelligence, with fake. Essentially, deepfakes are synthetic media where a person's likeness is replaced with someone else's, creating convincing but entirely fake content. This can take several forms: face swapping in videos or images, voice cloning that mimics someone's speech patterns, lip syncing to make it appear someone said words they never actually uttered, or even full body puppetry that controls a person's movements. What's remarkable is how quickly this technology has evolved from academic research to accessible apps that anyone can use. The underlying technologies include generative adversarial networks or GANs, where two neural networks compete. One creates fakes while the other tries to detect them. This competition leads to increasingly convincing results. Other technologies like autoencoders, neural radiance fields, and diffusion models are also being used to create ever more realistic synthetic media. The democratization of this technology means we all need to understand how it works and its potential implications. Now let's examine how deepfakes are actually impacting elections worldwide. We've already seen several concerning incidents. In Slovakia's 2023 election, deepfake audio of a candidate discussing election rigging was released just 2 days before the vote. In Argentina the same year, AI-generated images circulated showing a presidential candidate as a young communist revolutionary. In the United States in 2024, robocalls mimicking President Biden's voice told voters to skip the primary election. And in India's 2024 elections, deepfake videos appeared showing politicians making controversial statements. These incidents demonstrate the real threat to electoral integrity. Election deepfakes are particularly dangerous because of their timing. They're often released right before elections when fact-checking is difficult. They can be shared millions of times before being debunked, and they're designed to trigger strong emotional responses. There's also what's called the liar's dividend, when real evidence can be dismissed as potentially fake. These challenges require new approaches to protecting democratic processes. Let's take a closer look at India's approach to AI regulation. As the world's largest democracy, India faces unique challenges. The country is currently relying largely on advisories to platforms rather than comprehensive legislation. The IT rules of 2021 require platforms to remove misinformation, and the proposed Digital India Act would create more comprehensive digital legislation. For elections, the Election Commission of India has implemented specific measures including 24/7 monitoring for deepfakes, collaboration with tech platforms for rapid takedowns, voter awareness campaigns, and strict action against violators under existing laws. A significant development came in March 2024 when India's Ministry of Electronics and IT issued an advisory requiring platforms to label AI-generated content and obtain explicit permission before deploying untested AI models. This represents India's most assertive step toward AI regulation to date. The 2024 general elections served as a real-world test of India's approach, with challenges including the massive scale of Indian elections, diversity of languages, and varying levels of digital literacy across the population. While regulation is important, media literacy represents our first line of defense against AI-powered misinformation. In the age of AI, critical thinking skills are no longer optional, they're essential for democracy. This includes practices like lateral reading, checking multiple sources before believing content, reverse image search to verify the origins of suspicious images, emotional awareness, recognizing that content designed to trigger strong emotions is often suspicious, source verification, checking where information originally came from, and learning to spot technical tells of deepfakes. Common signs of AI-generated content include unnatural eye blinking, lip sync issues where mouth movements don't perfectly match speech, skin texture that's too perfect or inconsistent, hair details where individual strands might be blurred or missing, lighting inconsistencies, and background artifacts. However, as the technology improves, these tells are becoming harder to spot. That's why educational initiatives from organizations like UNESCO, the EU, and various national governments are so important. Building a media-literate citizenry is crucial for democratic resilience in the age of AI. Policymakers face significant challenges in regulating AI. They must balance innovation against protection, ensuring they don't stifle technological advancement while still protecting against harms. There are free speech concerns. Regulation could impact legitimate expression. Global coordination is difficult since technology crosses borders easily while regulations typically don't. The pace of technological change means laws struggle to keep up. And enforcement presents challenges, particularly against anonymous creators. Different countries are adopting different regulatory philosophies. The EU follows more of a precautionary principle, regulating proactively before harm occurs. The US tends toward an innovation principle, regulating only when there's clear evidence of harm. Other approaches include adaptive governance with flexible regulations, multi-stakeholder approaches involving government, industry and civil society, and sector-specific regulation with different rules for different applications. Meanwhile, technology companies are implementing their own measures including content policies, technical solutions like content provenance standards and digital watermarks, detection tools, and transparency reports. Self-regulation complements but doesn't replace government oversight. Looking to the future, the AI landscape continues to evolve rapidly. We're facing emerging threats like real-time deepfakes that could manipulate live video broadcasts or video calls, multimodal AI systems that can generate video, audio and text together, personalized manipulation with AI creating customized misinformation for individuals, automated influence operations with AI-powered bots that can engage in complex conversations, and an ongoing detection arms race where improvements in detection drive improvements in generation technology. At the same time, promising technical solutions are emerging. These include content provenance with cryptographically signed metadata about content origin, digital watermarks that imperceptibly identify AI-generated content, detection algorithms trained to spot other AI's creations, blockchain verification creating immutable records of content creation, and hardware-based solutions like camera sensors that cryptographically sign authentic photos. No single solution is perfect. A layered approach combining technical solutions, regulation, and media literacy will be necessary. In the near future, we'll likely see widespread implementation of AI labeling, the first legal cases under new AI laws, and improved detection tools. Longer term, we may face fundamental shifts in our information ecosystem requiring new approaches to verification and trust. As we conclude, it's clear we're at a critical juncture in the relationship between technology and society. Democracy is being tested. AI can both strengthen and undermine democratic processes depending on how we manage it. Global coordination is essential since no single country can solve these challenges alone. Balance is key. We must protect against harms without stifling innovation. And everyone has a role to play, from policymakers to platforms to individual citizens. The choices we make today will shape our information ecosystem for decades to come. As informed citizens, there are concrete steps you can take. Develop critical thinking skills and question content before sharing. Use verification tools to check sources and authenticity. Support media literacy by sharing these skills with others. Stay informed about developments in AI policy. Engage in policy discussions since your voice matters. And advocate for balanced approaches that protect without stifling innovation. Democracy requires informed, engaged citizens, especially in the age of AI. Remember that with the power of AI comes great responsibility, for developers, policymakers, and for each of us as digital citizens.